Hi, are you an aspiring backend engineer, intern, or a junior backend engineer looking for a new role, or you just got a new role? Then you need to watch this video to the end. So here are 6 basic things you need to know, and the last one is the most important. Now, in this video, I'm going to be revealing to you 6 tips that will make you stand out as a backend engineer. Number one is understanding how to interpret user interface, basically called UI. Now, in most cases, when starting an application, the UI designer is saddled with the responsibility to create a screen journey of how the application is going to be. Now, it is your obligation as a backend engineer to interpret this into coding, right? So understanding how to interpret this UI is very essential in your role as a backend engineer, and as a junior backend engineer, you need to understand what are the phases, what are the things you need to prioritize within this user interface. And also, you need to also be able to challenge some UI. This is not trying to rebel, but this is just trying to understand how the flow of the user interface is going to be, and then the experience of the user. Number two is get yourself prepared to read documentation. A lot of services that you're going to be integrating into your application is put into a documentation. Thereby, whatever you need to know about them, you can get it within the documentation. So get yourself prepared to read multiple documentation to suit whatever application or whatever integration that you're going to be doing within your application. Number three, understand database fundamentals. In this regard, I would say that database makes almost 60% of your application. Now, why I said so is database actually is the most important, in which you store all your data, that is user data, the attributes, the objects, and everything that has to do with it. So you're going to be using database to create these classes, and also within the UI, while you're trying to also interpret the UI, you might need to understand from the UI perspective or the user experience perspective, know the fields that you're going to be creating, the tables that you're going to be creating, which is like a database schema. Like, basically understand what you need to do within the application. Number four, understand how to integrate APIs, which is called the application programming interface. This is where applications get to interact with each other. Say I want to interact with another application, I would learn how to interact using the API that has been provided. Now, within this documentation that I said earlier, you would see the APIs called the URLs that you will hit, the request that is supposed to take, that is the required request body that it takes, and the responses that it gives you when you make those requests. I'm going to do a separate video for integration, so don't worry. And lastly, you need to understand how to use asynchronous task. Now, there are some things, or there are some actions within your application that you need to run that does not have to stop the application. Example is number one, sending notifications, sending emails, sending anything that has to trigger whenever a particular action is done. Say you onboard a particular user, immediately that user is being onboarded, you want to send an email into the person's mailbox to complete the sign up or to verify their email. So all of these things are called tasks. They are called, they basically run in the background. They're called background tasks, and then they run in the background without stopping the application. And whatever stack you are working with, you would have something that work with you. E.g., Python uses Celery, Node.js uses Bool or Agenda, Java uses Quartz scheduler, and PHP uses Laravel scheduler or something. But then try to understand these concepts, because it's very, very important to understand them. So if this video is helpful, kindly like, follow, and share with friends. Thank you very much, and have a great day.